We all know the phrase, if they know better, they'll do better. But in organizations, and honestly, in life, that's rarely true. This is what we call the knowing-doing gap, the distance between what we know and what we actually do. Most workplaces are overflowing with knowledge. We have training programs, handbooks, frameworks, playbooks. But knowledge doesn't create impact, action does. One of the biggest reasons the gap exists is that we teach how before we teach why. We hand people toolkits and checklists, but never help them understand the philosophy, the purpose behind the action. And when people don't know why something matters, they don't feel compelled to do it. And here's something important. We don't learn by knowing, we learn by doing. Trying, failing, adjusting, teaching others. That's where understanding forms. You can talk about swimming all day, but eventually, you have to get in the pool. Yet many workplaces reward talking over doing. The person who speaks eloquently in the meeting looks smart. The person who critiques other people's ideas sounds intelligent. The person who uses complex language appears insightful. But here's the twist. Simple language is what drives action. When ideas are clear, concrete, and easy to grasp, people move. Common sense is often more powerful than complexity. To turn knowledge into action, we need environments where action is safe. Because if people believe trying something new might get them punished, criticized, or labeled, they will choose the familiar every time. Fear is one of the strongest forces holding organizations in place, and that fear usually starts at the top. So organizations must create a climate where mistakes are expected, where experimentation is respected, and where failure is seen as part of learning, not evidence of inadequacy. Next, we need to measure what matters. If we only measure outcomes, like quarterly results or final numbers, people feel pressure, not clarity. Instead, measure the behaviors that lead to success, how we collaborate, how we communicate, how we solve problems together. Keep the measures simple, fair, focused on collective success, not internal competition. Because internal competition, ranking people, pitting teams against each other, destroys learning. When employees compete for status, they stop sharing ideas. When they're afraid of being evaluated, creativity shrinks. Innovation requires safety, curiosity, and collaboration, not rivalry. So what can you do to actually close this gap? Those who close the knowing-doing gap focus less on making decisions themselves and more on building systems that turn knowledge into habits. They model the behavior, they reward progress, they make learning visible. And above all, they make it safe to act. The bottom line is this: knowing is easy, doing is harder. But when we lead with purpose, speak with clarity, measure what matters, and create safety for experimentation, knowledge transforms into capability. And capability becomes performance. And performance becomes culture. Action over talk. Progress over perfection. That's how we close the gap.